2022 was responsible for some horrific content. A lot of terrible streaming shows came out in the year. She-Hulk, Rings of Power, but chiefly among them, Master Chiefly in this situation, or if you were watching, unfortunate enough to watch this, Master Cheeksly, among them was the Halo series. And well, in a certain point in time, and as somebody who was very much a fan of the series, back when Bungie was in charge, after 343 Studios took over, okay, like it definitely fell off. Halo 4 was a steep step down. Halo 5, I didn't even bother finishing that. I just recorded a video not that long ago where I said that, I started playing it, and my Xbox One is actually the limited edition Halo 5 one, but again, I didn't even finish that terrible game. And Halo Infinite, I haven't even bothered playing the free-to-play side of it. I would be interested in just seeing what the campaign's about, but regardless, I used to be a big Halo fan. That's probably the franchise that I've spent, either that or Final Fantasy, I've spent the most time in. Definitely when it comes to just really fun gaming memories, Halo easily takes the cake on that one. Halo 2 and Halo 3, some of the best gaming times I can possibly remember with my friends. And a lot of people, if you're of a certain age, you can also resonate with that message. But that's, Lord have mercy, a decade and a half ago at that point in time. But if we can just go ahead and cast our minds back to those halcyon days, back when the best non-gameplay related Halo content were all of those Halo 3 trailers. If you know, you know, and if you don't, you can go ahead and refresh your memory on that stuff. Those were top tier. That was peak Halo content. Who knew? If we were promised a television show regarding Halo centered around Master Chief, just how horrific things would end up going. Because there was talks back in the day, and very, very close to happening, that Peter Jackson, the guy behind the Lord of the Rings, was going to be doing a Halo TV show. That Steven Spielberg, that guy, before he ended up losing his marbles and making a predominantly Spanish-speaking movie and not putting subtitles because he thought that English people were racist but the rest of the world could get subtitles. No, back when Steven Spielberg was still that guy making a Halo movie, Halo was top-tier stuff, rivaling Mario as the face of gaming. But we're so far removed from that, and we ended up getting the Halo series in 2022. If you don't remember it, that's totally fine. I didn't watch it. I listened to a very, very, very long breakdown of the series. I've heard nothing but terrible things about it, and what they did to the character of Master Chief, removing somebody who very famously never removed his helmet outside of, what was that? I think if you beat Halo 4 on Legendary, that's a campaign that I beat. I don't remember a goddamn thing about it, but I remember beating it. Okay, if you beat it on Legendary, you got one very brief frame of Master Chief's eyes, not even of his complete face, and then you got the off-camera, and if you could hack the camera or something like that, you could see his face in Halo 1. Unless you were doing a bunch of extracurricular activities, the face of Master Chief, of John 117, was kept obscured, because that was Master Chief. That was the Spartan that you played as. But not in that TV show. Oh, it's a different timeline, bro. It's the silver timeline. It was a show that was made for the fans by people who weren't even fans of the show, which is egregious, wholly egregious, but not too dissimilar to the way that Hollywood attacks a lot of their projects of beloved franchise adaptations and desecrations in this place. But the actor who regrettably played Master Chief, Pablo Schreiber, sounds like a very conflicted individual himself. Doesn't know if he should be wearing lederhosen or a sombrero. But he played Master Chief, took his helmet, and then later his Spartan armor off later in the series. He's coming back to don the armor for a second season, and that's unfortunately going to be coming out this year. And for as much as we've seen other stars go out and try to promote their upcoming projects, most notably Daisy Ridley, who decided to not attack fans this time around, Pablo, he didn't quite get that message. I guess Paramount is a wholly different company. You would think, the very, very pro-fan, very pro-engagement Paramount, at least when it came to Tom Cruise's Top Gun Maverick, They're the same production company that is just allowing their star of this TV show to just go ahead and openly tell fans, if you don't like the direction that we're taking Master Chief, you aren't fans of the show and this isn't for you. Yeah, for something that struggled as mightily as that, because who in the previous couple of years has even brought up this Halo TV show unless it's just something to mock? Like, nobody talks about this anymore. Back in the time when Halo was at its peak, you couldn't go anywhere without being inundated with Halo and Halo merchandise. That just goes to show you how far the brand of Halo has fallen, and entertainment in general, how disposable streaming shows have become. But Halo's star Pablo Schreiber continues to defend series' decision to regularly show Master Chief's face. You haven't made a compelling argument yet, so why would you start now? If you don't agree with the helmet coming off in the show, you don't like our show. I'm sure, Pablo. Please tell us more. As the old adage, or at least a slight twist on it goes, is it really an insult if it's true? If doubling down on arguably the worst creative liberty taken in the series, almost entirely comprised of them, Halo star Pablo Schreiber has insultingly affirmed that he has no interest in listening to critics who are unhappy with the series' decision to constantly depict his character, Master Chief, without his helmet. Of course. Schreiber offered his latest defense of the series' controversial costuming choice while speaking with SFX magazine in promotion of Paramount and Network's exclusive upcoming second season and final season premiere. Pressed for his thoughts, and those critics who still take issue with Master Chief's elevated FaceTime, the orange is the new black star, opined, people who don't feel the helmet was necessary to come off, there's such an early conception of what the show could be. Well, yeah, fair enough. If you had good reason to take the helmet off Master Chief, people maybe could have been a little bit more amenable to the decision, but you didn't end up doing anything with it. You just simply said, oh, the character can't emote unless you see his face, which is such a ridiculous take. If you played any of the games, if the writers played any of the games, which they didn't, you know that that Master Chief, being the stoic protagonist of the Halo franchise, yeah, he's a character, a very important character, a character that you can tell a lot of stories, especially in conjunction with Cortana, who you'd never really seen in the game a consistent physical manifestation. All you had was internal monologues between the two, and you could have told a great story. Hell, you could have adapted all three original games. You could have done Reach, which apparently, oh my god, they're going to be delving into in the second season, which is going to be absolutely ridiculous. You could have had so many interesting stories to tell, but you're not going to. You're just going to do some basic bitch storytelling and then blame everybody else for not excitedly lapping it up. In order to examine the discrepancy between these two versions of the character, his Spartan and human side, you can't tell that story without taking the helmet off. And that's the problem. If you wanted to tell some basic bitch character drama, don't do it with Halo, okay? Master Chief's not that character. Oh, there's two different versions of this character. Yeah, and that's when the story started to go off the rails. That's when 343 took over and wanted to delve into the backstory about the Spartan training. And it's like, nobody cares, bro. Take on the Flood, take on the Brutes, take on the Covenant, tell that story. But no. You just wanted the same introspective look and the breakdown and the distrust of military. And it's like, we see this time and time again. Tell a different goddamn story. However, rather than ever offer acknowledgement of his critics' completely valid issue, Schreiber instead insulted them by declaring, if you don't agree with the helmet coming off in the show, you don't like our show, so there's no point discussing it. Exactly. This just harkens back to something that we've heard time and time again, especially in comic books. If you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. You don't like what we did to your character, don't watch our show. Well, guess what? People are taking notice to those claims, and they are following up on your threats. As noted above, it is not the first time Schreiber has stood behind the series' decision to have Chief feel the wind blow through his hair. Discussing the topic with Slash Films, Ryan Scott, following the series' world premiere at the 2023 South by Southwest Festival. Well, wouldn't that have been at 2022? Because that's when it came out. Anyways, the actor opined, I always knew that the helmet was going to be a big part of the show because, just quite frankly, it's the only way to tell a story in long-form television format. You are a complete and total idiot, but why do I not expect anything different from a Hollywood actor? No, man, it's not like there were complete stories that were told both in the extended novelization in Halo, not like it wasn't told in the stories, not like it wasn't told with, multiple Spartans in the games. Oh, by keeping their helmets on. No, you can't possibly tell that story. No, it's not like Master Chief doesn't have a personality. No, we need to tell a different story. Shut up. The game was made as a first-person shooter. Oh, I didn't know that. Thanks for filling me in. Where you're meant to believe that you're Master Chief. Thanks, he told Scott. Okay, so the character was kept vague for that reason. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. And you infuse the character on your own personality and your own subtleties. How stupid. This is a grade schooler's interpretation of this. Okay, this is a baby's first game design, but as you find out very quickly, Master Chief definitely has a character. And he made, so this is a TV show being made for long-term success. It's not getting a third season, stupid. In order to do that, you have to bring the audience along with you. So yeah, okay, cool. Well, even if you just go ahead and accept his logic that it's a nameless, faceless character that you can go ahead and superimpose your own personality traits on. Okay, cool. And that's only accomplished through the video game format, right? Yeah, okay, that's why they sold millions and millions, and it was at one point in time the biggest gaming franchise on planet Earth. Fantastic. Yeah, it was only successful in that medium. Couldn't have possibly been interpreted and extrapolated into other mediums. No, of course not. No. You guys are the first people to ever come across this idea, right? I totally get it. You rediscovered the wheel. You discovered fire. All those great things. You created electricity. Good on you, Pablo. Fantastic. But instead of taking that character and what worked in the video games, it can't be done for television audiences. Okay, and the only way to make a character that was super successful in another medium is to just make him a generic character that telling a story that has been told time and time again in other generic mediums. Good stuff that you have right there. So either you don't fully understand what you're saying and that you're just repeating talking points given to you by your handlers, which I will go ahead and I will attribute ignorance and not to malice, or you think that television audiences are so dumb that they can't go ahead and project their own personality and subtleties onto that same character and that they need to update them for a modern audience. Interesting. And really, the only way of doing that is seeing the face, knowing the character's feelings about things. Exactly. That's why nobody can, relate to luchadors. Speaking of professional wrestling, right? Like, nobody likes characters that wear masks, okay? It's not like 3 of the most, 4, 5, 6 of the most famous luchadors of all time, El Santo, Blue Demon, Rey Mysterio. Like, nobody's ever resonated with them. No, of course not. It's not like Mystico's the biggest draw in Mexico. No, of course not, man. Come on. Game. Oh yeah, it was made as, we already talked about all of that. Okay. And really the only way of doing that is seeing the face. That's how you empathize with them. That's how you go along with them on the journey. Yeah, of course. That's why nobody continued through, all 3, 4, some of the Halo Wars spin-off games. That's why, millions of people didn't go on that journey because they couldn't relate with the character. Asshole. He further elaborated, so it was always necessary thing. If you just continue to repeat it to yourself, eventually it'll come true. And it was a necessary thing to do early so that the audiences get comfortable going on this journey. That's why everybody kind of hopped off after episode 1 by going, what the hell are you doing to Master Chief? Also, because that character has been kept vague for so long. You don't know the lore. You don't know gaming, you don't know the lore, you don't know the character, but you know the story that you want to tell that's not resonating with audiences. Fantastic. And the process of the first season is really the process of John learning who he is as a human being and ultimately concluded of his defense. So, who is Master Chief is a kind of a big question, and we're going to fill it in the first season. You didn't. It's through this process of him learning about himself, and therefore we as audience members will all learn about that along with him. Exactly. For those morbidly curious, the second season of Halo is currently set to crash onto Paramount Plus on February 8th. Cool, I wasn't interested, but now that I know that it's going to be there, I guess I'll be bracing for impact on that one and just waiting to hear if a once prominent franchise releases a streaming service onto a platform that is about to go bankrupt and nobody watches it, will anybody care if they charge up the plasma pistols? So if looking for a review of the Halo series, yeah, I'd imagine they're going to be few and far between, because the first season was cringe and the second season was probably just going to be simply boring, but you're going to have to look elsewhere. I'm just simply going to be looking to see what the ratings are going to be on that one and how bad things can ultimately get for the once great Master Chief. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.